All right, everyone, welcome to session 8 of the unnamed Planescape game. Who would like to give a recap? I know it's been a while.
So I know Dobrun went to talk to Hoolister after his sort of existential beginning of that conversation in the session before. Hoolister was concerned about how Dobrun found him, but he did confirm that the Athar have taken an interest in that church, not really so much why, uh, but that they're willing to kill anyone who enters it. Uh, Hoolister didn't seem to be aware that there would be violence potentially, let alone that there had been. But he knew that the signers were also interested in that church. Hoolister also mentioned, or it was revealed, that he has an interest in, I forget now, either I wrote the waitress, but either the proprietor or the waitress of the tavern that we're in.
In the
Uh,
interest of taking the approach of it's always sunny in Philadelphia, this person will from here on be known as waitress.
Who? Just say
yeah.
waitress.
So Dobrin told him about Sareth Famora, our client. Hoolister at some point got annoyed now that he learned that there's sort of a business reason for Dobrin talking to him. So he got up to leave and asked not to be followed. But Dobrin told us about the conversation, including the waitress, and Cadeau decided to follow him anyway. So as Cadeau was walking, he saw, random weird events in the streets of Sigil. Hoolister stopped at a rusted statue of an old factol, but apparently there's no sign, so it's hard to say who it was. But Hoolister seemed to show some deference or reverence for the statue. Hoolister then sort of disappeared around a corner when there was well, we probably don't remember this part, but there was a slowing of time and a pixelated Fisk began to appear, and Cadeau bumped into him. At that point, Cadeau's memory of Fisk returned, and they both followed Hoolister to what we assume is his house, where he has a lot of painted images of the waitress and a cat. So we assume that he has some interest in both of those, but they then headed back to the ubiquitous Wayfarer. There was there was then a guy who was very eager to figure out the answer to the riddle that the puzzle statue in the ubiquitous Wayfarer was giving, and he was asking for help with that. I think his name may have been Full Neener, either that or I had a stroke and I just typed Full Neener into my notes because that's there and it's not clear what that's referring to otherwise. Uh, Uthermath wound up solving the riddle, although Dobrin took an attempt first that Uthermath thinks actually is a valid answer to the riddle, just not the answer that the puzzle machine wanted. Uh, what was next? So we talked to some of the other people there, and we heard that the signers are potentially planning on breaking into the church, but not immediately, like in a week or two or something, some point in the future. There was a full-blooded elf named Elkis, who suggested that the signers may be planning violence at that point, which maybe is what our client was interested in. Fisk at that point came back in, and we all remembered him, although now he's a ghost again to us, I assume, just a hole in our memories.
Well, I'm going to
Um,
describe how that happens in a minute because it's
okay.
fun in my head. But yeah.
So it didn't seem like other people in the tavern were noticing Fisk. So we got the idea of taking him to the church and seeing if he could sneak in using this sort of this veil of unnoticeability to go in. But when we went to the church, he couldn't approach it without phasing back out of existence and our memories. So we went to another church just to test that, but he had no problem going in there. So it is specific to this particular church. Um, as we were traveling away, we got accosted by a bunch of Athar people, and we had a big fight. And eventually, we didn't kill them, but we sort of drove the last of them away, with them vowing to return, and probably in greater numbers like sand people.
So, a couple of just additions because that was a pretty thorough um review. First of all, Full Meaner is now his name. I like that better. Uh, and then additionally, so Full Meaner also let you know about Elkis. He was the one that told you about Elkis and that they were gonna potentially storm the church. Um, he gave you somewhat of a description enough that, you know, you're not just looking for an elf, but also he was a drunk, so how much use could the information be? But then additionally,
We don't know he was a drunk. Maybe he was drunk.
that's fair. Uh, Additionally, you did kill one of the Athar enforcers. Um, and and they did say we're coming back.
And we
Um,
knocked out Brendan, or at least the one I'm calling Brendan.
yeah. Um, so and then let's see, is there anything else? So just a couple of other quick notes that you guys had discussed. There are a couple of other places of interest where you might be able to get some additional information aside from other people around the neighborhood that might know more. So if you wanted to canvas around, you might get a little bit more information about what's going on. But additionally, there is the Hall of Records where you might be able to get more information on the the actual ownership of the church or any kind of transition of deed or whatever. There's also the Shattered Temple, which is the faction headquarters for the Athar. So if you wanted to interact directly with the Athar to try and get some information about what they're doing at the church, you could do that. Although, given that you've killed one of the Athar, who knows how they might receive you. And then there's additionally uh, so the Hall of Speakers is the headquarters of the Sign of One. You may be able to get some information talking to the signers directly since they seem to now have some link to the church. So those are some additional things that I think had come up, and even if not, Godot's awareness of Sigil is good enough that Godot would have known about those places and their connections.
I don't see a card for the signers.
That is
Is it in?
because I did not make it public. There.
There it is.
Right. So you are currently back at the Temple of what is it? The Temple of Geshtai. And it is as described previously, it's a dump. There's lots of puddles of unknown depth around rusted metal and dilapidated building, if you can even call it that at this point, of what remains of the Temple of Geshtai. Also, Dobrun is unconscious, I believe.
Um, can I go help them up?
Is he
Well, I guess I can't help him up, but
Oh, he's not unconscious. He's has 0 hit points, but he is in vitality. So he is
Oh,
like
okay.
he is breathing heavily and leaning against the wall. Just kind of out of it.
you take a breather.
I need more than a breather.
What does it sound like when an elephant wheezes with the trunk?
Like a distant trumpet sound as the air is passing through the trunk.
Like a person who doesn't know how to play a trumpet is trying to blow into a trumpet.
Basically a third trumpet.
What's the time of day again?
The evening.
Oh, I mean, we can stop someplace.
That fight just the altercation took it out of me.
Yeah, you real took a beating.
I would imagine he's just like got cuts all over him, like bleeding quite a bit.
Cadeau's just fine.
He's just like he's got his uh bandana that's across his eyes. They're covering them as like kind of thick with blood.
We should vacate this area before they return with more of their compatriots.
Like they threatened they would.
At that point, Fisk, he turns and with a wide-eyed look, and he's like, "Wait a minute, I just figured something out, guys." I and at that point, he freezes,
Of course he does.
and then he seems to flatten into just a 2D representation of himself, which then turns into a sprite-like thing, where it's a 2D sprite of Fisk, which then starting from the top and kind of going side to side, there is a beam of light that is just kind of collecting him Tron style at some point into the air, slowly, line by line, disintegrating him until he is no longer sitting there. And you vaguely recall his name is Fisk, but much of your other recollection of Fisk seems to dim. Not completely. You still have some awareness of him, but it seems like when you try to remember him, it's almost like your attention tries to slide away and fixate on something else.
Shall we get out of here?
Yeah, we need to go bring fish.
Sorry, what?
Where's
fish what?
fish?
Oh, I don't know. Where you want to go?
Anywhere except Trunfeld's.
I mean, it's pretty close. I don't know how close. I don't remember where. No, we're not. We're not close to it. Take us home. What do you want?
It's the
We
thing.
should go somewhere where Dobrun can rest.
How close are we to the true blue?
Not close. Further than Trunfeld's.
Although, you never know, Trunfell might just be around the corner.
Are you sure?
She's
not
just like
Trunfeld's?
behind a barrel, peering over the edge.
Longingly. If we could
Not
somehow,
even a little obscured by the barrel.
Yeah, well, she's huge, and it's like a tiny little barrel.
Yeah.
behind a tree, like just like a pole, like a street pole, light post.
I
Um,
would suggest we vacate this neighborhood entirely, as they may search for us.
all right, guys, follow me. And as we go to start walking, shadow starts to sort of fall off of me and dissipate into the ground. Any footsteps that you might leave behind are swept away by magic, by these shadows that are following us. I cast a pass without trace. Because why not?
Is Dobrun at half speed or no?
Good question.
So the exhaustion rules work a bit differently, and I will repost them.
Yeah, it's -5 feet for every level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
It's basically just a flat penalty based off of the level of exhaustion rather than different conditions.
Mhm.
Okay.
I forget, did we search the dead guy and the guy we knocked out? I don't remember. Not in my notes.
I thought we would have.
I don't know if we did that before the
I don't know.
session.
I wrote in my note check body, so
And I remember they had like crossbows.
yeah, I wrote crossbows pick up. So before we leave, we pick up their crossbows and check their crap.
Yeah, so let's see. So there's actually a few crossbows because few of them had been dropped. And then also they were carrying a couple of them were carrying maces. So the body that you have in front of you is definitely wielding a mace. In addition to that,
I am also carrying a shield. I don't know why, but it's on my character sheet. I can't use a shield. Does anybody need a shield? Because it weighs 6 pounds. I'm gonna drop this thing.
I like to imagine we're walking whenever you realize this. Like, anybody need this?
Yeah.
And you just like throw it on the ground, and the guard's like, "Hey, man, that's
Oh,
littering."
I absolutely would drop it into one of those puddles to see if they're actually deep.
I mean, Dobrin would take the shield. He is proficient in shields. And he's a powerful build, so he could just like throw it on his back
Oh, you have a free
Long-
shield then.
with his glaive and battle axe.
um, yeah, I think as a fighter, don't you get the bonus action to put Don or doff a shield? I think that's part of your second level ability, maybe. With what is that, cunning fighting or whatever?
Shrewd fighting.
Shrewd fighting.
Yeah, you're correct. You do. So yeah.
Plus, you have a
It-
trunk. I would say you could use your trunk to wield a shield if you wanted to.
It's canon.
He has to hold. He has to either get the handle adjusted so that he can, right? Because it's like grabby like this. So he needs that. Otherwise, the shield's going to be
feed his trunk
sideways.
through the arm straps.
Yeah.
Yeah. How prehensile is that thing?
That is true. Some shields do just have like a hand grip in front.
Yeah. I'm sure we can make it work.
But you can't wield the shield and breathe at the same time.
All right, so on the body, you find 38 gold pieces. And then Let's see. What else might you find on him?
Sounds like you need to use your story dice.
They are sitting right here.
Yep, it's pretty convenient, huh?
I think I might have to. Ugh.
So do we split these gold with Phipps?
I don't know. Does he even use gold in the flatland?
Who?
Oh
Oh.
yeah, Fisk. Oh, gold. Gold. I don't
So-
think I don't think he needs gold wherever he is.
Who?
The other person who was just here a minute ago,
Yeah,
wherever
Fish.
he
Guy-
went.
The guys we just beat up? Ran away?
No, the other guy on our side.
Yeah, Fish.
Must not have been helpful. I don't remember him.
I could go for some good fish tunes right now, bro. Get in the
Fish
zone.
tunes? I think I
Right,
know
bro.
a bar with some. You want? I got you. Hold on. I know where there's a Kuatoa bar. It's crazy. You're not going to be able to drink anything.
No, I'm
But
there
there
for
might
the
be fish
jam
tunes.
band, bro.
There might be fish tunes. Which de- which segment of the city are we in? I can't
Um,
imagine this is anywhere nice.
no, it's the
Down in the hive or something.
no, you're not in the hive. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah. Right. We're not there.
the lower ward.
Hmm.
That's where it is. And so on the body, in addition to 38 gold pieces, you find a flask of an unknown liquid. You find that this person actually had a fairly sophisticated prosthetic hand. And a corn-husk doll.
You gonna chug that?
That
Looking at
seems
Chaz.
unwise.
He was just
No,
carrying it.
bro.
Must be his drink.
So is the prosthetic hand easy to remove?
Yeah. It's got a few leather straps attaching the hand to the arm, but kind of like Bruce Campbell in or Ash Williams in Army of Darkness.
I look at the hand and I look at Dobrun's trunk and I look at the hand.
Dobrun could properly backslap somebody, backhand somebody.
If the hand was able to like stay in like a closed grip, you could like jam a knife in it and put it at the end of the trunk
How
and, like,
sophisticated we talking here, you know?
stab things with it.
How sophisticated, you know? Got some good mixture of gears here. We can like adjust the fingers.
And this doll will come in handy.
Yeah,
What?
bro. It looks like the bro that just wasn't there a bro here? It looks like him.
If
That's
we need
weird.
to win the favor of a difficult child, we may be very glad to have this doll with us.
Hey, you know what? I trust your wisdom on that one. I don't know.
So yeah, I would give the hand to Dobrun because he just seems like the obvious one to use it. I would take the doll. I don't know who wants the flask of unknown liquid.
I'll just look to Chaz. I'll
Does
take it
it-
if you don't want it.
It doesn't look like hair care product to me, bro. So it's out of my league.
Might be a drink. As we're walking, I'll sniff it. Is it like easily unstoppered or
Yeah.
I'll have a sniff.
What is a skill that you think would be applicable to determining the nature of what you smell?
Well, so the first thing I just wanted to try and confirm is if it was alcohol. I think I'm familiar enough with the smell of it that I could potentially tell if it's got some kick to it. What kind of skill would that be? I don't know, man.
I am a proficient alchemist, although I do not have my tools on me at the moment.
Survival? I don't know.
Yeah, we could do survival.
I'm not very good at it, so. Oh shit.
Oh, there you go.
Well, now here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
Are you trying to roll high or low?
Oh, I forgot about that rule.
You dick sucker. It's unnecessary. You just give that to me. Do I have advantage for some reason? I got them both covered if it's an advantage.
Oh yeah, that makes that adds in a whole other layer when you have advantage and disadvantage. Which value does it end up being? Um,
Is it alcohol at least?
it is definitely alcohol.
Got it.
I love this. This is such a good system.
Got it. Okay. We're on the job. I'll stop her. I'll have some whenever we get there.
So do we pick up the additional? Can we use the additional spell slots? Or I mean, like hit points. Obviously, the total goes up, but we can't get hit points. But like,
Well, you can get the hit points that you like the difference. So like if you get an additional 10 to your max hit points, then I would say you could also add 10 to your current hit point total.
So wouldn't that mean that Dobrun is not at 0?
yeah,
but
yeah,
at
you should
13?
be.
Yeah, that would put
Okay.
him in the positive. He
Yeah,
would be in the
look at that.
black, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
You still have
okay.
the exhaustion, but yeah, any spell
Okay.
slots that you would have gotten
Right. Okay.
yeah.
So like, you would just want like a local place, or you want to go back to spot we've been just to rest?
I do not think we should stay local.
I'm
Okay.
feeling a
Fair.
bit better. I can make a longer journey if we need to. Let me get my new shield on.
Well, a little bit further is Trunfeld.
I can make a longer journey if needed.
This guy's motivated.
Isn't
Or
there?
anti-motivated? I don't know what you would call that. It's obvious she fancies you.
Well,
What are you,
it's-
celibate or something? Is that a thing that you guys are like, or
there's no room for for love.
I don't think Trunfeld's looking for love.
There's no room for lust either. The
All
path,
right.
the path deserves 100% focus.
What if the path led you to her?
The path wouldn't.
Bro, you got to quit sniffing that flask we got, bro. I think it's messing with your noggin.
Now I'm picturing Trunfeld as like one of the women from Futurama looking for Snoo Snoo.
The path would never take me there. It did. It did. It literally did. You were right there. Perhaps
Sometimes the path
Perhaps-
doesn't know what it's talking about.
perhaps the path is punishing you for not doing what you were supposed to do. That's why you got beat up.
I think you
Some-
need to take your own counsel with respect to what the path wants of you.
It's
Well,
up to you. We could go someplace else. That's fine.
I would prefer that. And I will gladly take your counsel for, of course, you would know the path best.
Who would?
Any of you.
My path is 1 foot forward. Let's go. You want to go back home, guys? Take a little bit. It's evening.
Yeah, we might as well return to the office.
Get some quality Z's in, bro.
Let's put a little pep in our step. I'll lead him back home, I guess. Quick as possible. You ready to pay for this? I think it's probably going to be faster.
Given the state of Dobrun, I think it's prudent to spend a little money to get home faster.
Perfect.
All right. So you guys take a portal home. It costs two jink a piece.
Dobrun is very happy to give up 2 jink. Have immediate access to a bed.
I
And
say I'll give you 1 jink.
no.
All right, here's 2 jink.
And the portal key is this person holds out a clear glass that is stoppered with a swirling black liquid. He unstoppers it and takes a drop, and to each of you says, hold out your tongue.
Gonna take me out to dinner first?
I would hold out my tongue.
I
So
would.
he puts a drop on your tongue, and it is probably the most bitter tasting thing you have ever experienced. You have a complete full body revulsion from disgust, and bringing that into being also brings into being the portal.
So then I would go through. I actually don't know if Vidalkins have tongues. I'm just assuming. Also, for all I know, it tastes like the most bitter, horrible thing ever, and that manifests the portal, and everybody else is like, oh no, this is great. but I will go through when it manifests.
Yeah. And each of you in turn have to also take a drop of the liquid. Each of you having a fairly similar experience, although depending on your personal tastes, maybe bitter is good.
Yeah. This kind of washes down, reminds him of the gruel back at the monastery.
Do they have meat hunks?
They didn't.
But now when we get to the other side, Cadeau has a reason to drink his mysterious liquid and see.
Yeah, bitter with more, like a more biting effect. I don't know.
I mean, if it's alcohol, though, it probably will wash the taste from your mouth.
That's
Though
true.
he didn't say ethanol. Could be like wood alcohol that you chug. Then we have two blind characters, except one of them keeps bumping into things.
So
Um,
it takes you guys a little bit, but you managed to get back to the room blue.
all right. Uh, what time tomorrow?
I would think we should start early.
Yes, we have a few leads to chase down.
Pull the flask out to the early risers. Let's take a little swig.
Well, bros, considering what's happened, do you think we should, all rack out here?
I
I
mean,
live here, so I will.
and I have a cotton back.
Do I have a cot?
Uh,
Uh,
Kiddo, give me a
Yeah.
Constitution saving throw.
No.
could be low or high. Who knows?
How am I supposed to action point?
No, no. Saving throws are always going to be wanting high.
Okay. Yeah. Action point.
Okay.
Proficient in this, God damn it! Come on. All right.
So you do have a sort of reaction to it.
I do have a quick question. So
Mhm.
Blue and True has like a sign and a logo that Fisk made because he's proficient in painting supplies, and there are two blue wizards on it. So I don't know if there are still two, if the sign is gone, or otherwise, if either math is like, why did I get a sign with two wizards?
That one seems more likely because it definitely still has two. Um, and yeah, you are just noticing that. Like, wait, what was I thinking?
Maybe it's me from two angles, but they look hairy.
Kiddo,
Yeah.
you have a reaction to the drink. It does taste like alcohol, but it also doesn't taste like an alcohol you've ever had.
Of course.
And it causes a huge buildup of gas in your gut. So you start
I would prefer
burping.
you did not sleep here.
So it causes you to start burping a lot and you get really bad indigestion and you kind of get like the um the water mouth that you get like right before you throw up, but you don't feel like you have to throw up.
Um, that was so fast. This stuff is terrible.
You don't look
Somebody
so
want
good, bro.
somebody else want to try?
I
Why would we want to try after you said it's terrible?
It's like the friendly thing to do, you know? It's like you do it in, solidarity.
I'm gonna go wash the blood off of my hide
Ah,
while you
fun.
torture yourselves with whatever this gruel is.
It's just a drink.
Is there
I'm
a
gonna
second?
go ahead.
Is there a second bedroom? Did Fisk stay there too, or no?
That is true. Fisk and I both stayed here.
Oh, bros, there's a second bedroom unoccupied.
I actually don't think there is a separate bedroom. I think there's just one room in back that we have cots in,
Okay.
but there would be like an extra cot. But I'm gonna cast detect magic just in case on the mystery liquid and focus on the mystery liquid and the doll just to make sure. And the hand, I guess. All three. But in particular, I would do the liquid first.
The liquid is not magical, nor is the corn-husk doll, but the hand is.
So I would tell Dobrun that. Can I identify a school?
Give me an Arcana check.
Hey, it took my little thing off. Probably when I leveled up. So it's actually that plus a D4, which it used to roll automatically, but it's gone now.
It's an enchantment magic.
So I would inform Dobrun.
Well, good to know. Good to know that whoever we had killed had the magic hands or magic hand.
It didn't help him.
It may have allowed him to use the hand a little more dexterously than he would have been able to otherwise. But that is just speculation on my part.
The Dobrun would clean up and just kind of get ready for bed, and spend some time before going to sleep to inspect the hand and try to ascertain its nature.
Am I still burping? How long does this go for?
About an hour.
Okay.
And what are you doing, Dobrin, to try and ascertain what the hand does?
Well, he has a -2 in intelligence, so he's magic and this stuff isn't really something he's good at. So he would just be kind of playing with the hand, kind of moving the fingers in different positions to see if it unlocks like some kind of magic power. I wouldn't expect Dobrun to be able to actually figure it out. He may be spending some time with it and then handing it off to Uthermath for him to figure it out later.
Yeah, you don't really get too much out of it. All of the joints of the fingers are very articulated, and so it moves in a way that a hand would move. And it does move in a way where it's also not loose. Like if you move a finger into a position, it stays in that position until you move it to a different position.
He puts it on the end of his trunk to try it out.
Give me a dexterity check to see how well you lash it to your trunk with the straps. So you managed to get it pretty well secured to your trunk, although with the way that it is, it blocks you from being able to breathe out of your trunk while it's in place.
Okay.
But it doesn't respond in any way. You don't find a way of activating the magic.
Okay. He takes it off, realizing that it smells. It has never been washed on the inside of this hand. And so he takes it off and sets it aside, grumbling to clean that thing tomorrow.
All right, so you guys get your long rest in. Cadeau, you wake up with the shits. Which is better than what would have happened had you failed.
Maybe it's just like some solvent the guy was carrying around and not actually a drink.
It was cleaning fluid.
Alrighty. Well, the fucker didn't use it on the hand, apparently.
Maybe he did. Maybe that was his wiping hand.
Maybe Dobrin shouldn't have fixed that to his nose then.
Your identify spell didn't identify it. It was fucking covered in shit.
Detect magic does not detect the presence of feces.
Dobrin would in the morning he would go up to Uthermath. I wasn't able to figure out the nature of this thing. Would you mind spending some time with it?
I could certainly attempt to.
Thanks. Magic is not my strong suit.
Actually, I do have a pearl and the identify spell.
You want to do that?
Yeah, just looking. Yeah, I will.
What does it look like when you cast a spell?
I would set the hand down like on a desk or a table, and then you see I begin to cast the spell. There's a sort of like booming sound of my voice as I call these sigils that hang in the air, glowing blue and pulsing, that begin to circle me and the object I'm looking at. And individual symbols start to like light up. This takes like 10 minutes because I'm casting it as a ritual. But individual symbols slowly begin to light up and are absorbed into my forehead as I learn more about this object.
Why can't
So,
you just do magic like this all the time? This almost smells nice.
We do what we can.
so what this hand does is when it is attached to a stump where a hand used to be, and an attunement slot is used, then it allows the individual to use the hand as if it was their own with full functionality. And it also comes with a built-in um, thieves tool set. And it also seems to have the ability to summon a protective field. So um, a certain number of times per day, it will allow you to use the shield spell.
So I will inform people that that's how it works. Though at the moment I have both of my hands, so I cannot use it.
I can see what I can do. If I can poke some holes in it, I may be able to to use it on my trunk. But you never know when one's going to lose a hand, so we can keep it around just in case.
You want
If
something to
it's
clean it with? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep that.
Before we go, I would like Cadeau to clean the bathroom.
You got magic. As I start to
I,
stroll out.
I do not have the kind of. I start to say that I do not have the kind of magic, but Cadeau is already out the door before he hears the end of my sentence.
I'm like walking past a window. Ask fish.
I don't even know that Fish is a wizard.
Yeah, I thought he was a halfling.
I'll be down the road getting something to eat.
How are we dividing this jink, bros?
4 ways.
Right, bro. So yeah. And then what we got left over, bro, like I would say that 32 jink and then the 6 jink that are left we're just gonna give to Ubermeth, so he can hire somebody after Cadeau blew up his bathroom.
How much is being handed out?
32.
Yeah, 8 each, and then 6 to Cadeau. I mean, Ubermeth. 6 additional.
So where do we go now? Do we want to investigate the Hall of Records?
Books can be cool, bro. Yeah.
There's also the Shattered Temple and the Hall of Speakers, or we could return back to the lower ward and ask around the neighborhood, though we may still be met with some hostility.
Yeah, those bros didn't seem very happy to see us.
Just got to get one of the factions on our side for a moment. Give safety
Well-
going through.
I think having the perspective from outside of one of the two factions involved can provide clarity, which would lead us to the Hall of Records.
I mean, to have anybody's actual perspective would be useful. I don't think we have any side of it properly, right? We just know they want the church. Well,
Bros,
maybe
can we
it's
have this
worm-eating.
conversation outside? The smell is lingering in here, bro. Just not cool with my morning routine, waking up. No, it's not good for the follicles or the skin or anything.
I already said I was leaving. Y'all should have followed me.
I don't know if that's a wise choice, bro.
Yeah, nobody wants to walk behind you.
Back blast area clear, bro.
We're fine. We're fine now. Good day. You keep this up, my rates for the day are going to double.
If we want to get one of the factions on our side, our best bet would probably be to go to the Hall of Speakers, since they are also interested in this temple, though they may not appreciate the help of outsiders. Still, it is possible, particularly if we speak to some of the aspirants to their order, that there may be rumors there about why they're interested in the temple.
Let's get moving.
And they may well welcome our help. There's also that elf to go and find.
So, clarification, the Shattered Temple is the Athar headquarters. The
Oh, I thought I said Hall of Speakers, but
You
I
did.
maybe said the other.
yeah, the Hall of Speakers is the signer headquarters.
So
I'm
I think we head to the Hall of Signers.
yeah.
That's the bro we didn't kill.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I would suggest we take one of the gargoyle transports, as our client does not have a lot of money to spend, and we have spent quite a lot,
Okay.
especially since our rate goes up since we did experience combat as a result of working for her.
So you travel to the clerk's ward, which is where the Hall of Speakers sits. And it takes a while, and if you want to use a portal, that'll help you get there quicker, but we're not going to hand wave that a bit. And so the clerk's ward is the part of Sigil that's the bureaucratic and governmental heart of this city plane. The primary purpose is as a meeting place for factions and a legislative forum. where representatives debate and propose and vote on statues for the cage. Now, as you approach the Hall of Speakers, the building is carved of marble with a tall, graceful spire that makes it visually prominent among the ward's buildings. In the front stands a gigantic statue, and beneath the statue, there is a plaque that says, "The Power of One." The statue is of a woman holding the entire world, and this is meant to underscore the signer's philosophy that each individual is the center of their own reality. There are two main entrances to the Hall of Speakers. One is called the Speaker's Portal, and the other is the Signer's Portal. It seems that the public entrance is the one where that is marked as the Speaker's Portal.
So I would go to that one.
Dobrun followed, just like looking around, you know, taking a measure of his surroundings.
Yeah. Anybody seem to recognize us?
No, not immediately at least, or not to your knowledge anyways. So the interior is fairly opulent compared to the standards of the buildings that you've been in up until now, with wide hallways and echoing acoustics. And there is a large chamber, which is known as the Speaker's Hall. There you can see that it is currently full with representatives gathered there, taking turns engaging in debate and that is the legislative body that is currently in session right now. Down the hall, there is a public forum that is where the signs lead you, where there is a gallery where you can see the representatives of the Speaker's Hall engaging in debate. But then there's also a public forum where ordinary cutters can describe the things that they wish to have addressed by the legislative body, or to make comment on the various things that are being discussed in the larger debate hall.
And what was that called? The one for cutters?
That was the public forum.
Okay.
So there is an informational desk where it looks like some people are walking up to the desk and being directed by a couple of different people. Some seem to be leading tours through the building to discuss the procedures of the legislative body and how it engages in its business.
Ooh, that seems very interesting. We should take the tour.
Do we have time for that?
We are on the clock with your mouth.
I suppose that's true.
But we can come back at a later time to take the tour.
So how would we approach people here to ask them about the church? We don't even know what deity the church is or was originally dedicated to.
The information desk.
That seems straightforward. A surprisingly good idea.
I have them occasionally.
Yes, very occasionally. Math will go to the information desk.
I caught that.
Math is now the one walking away.
Is this about the bathroom?
So you behind the desk, is it Uthermeth that's approaching the desk?
I am.
Or
I don't know if
so
anyone's coming with me or not.
I mean, Dobrun will be behind you. He's just kind of scanning the surroundings.
so there is a woman behind the desk who is not currently being attended to other duties or attentions, and she's tall and thin with green skin offset by meticulous white cuffs and a charcoal vest embroidered with fractal sigils of the office. Small golden spectacles perched halfway down her nose, but she never seems to actually look through them. You can't tell if they're decorative or specifically for reading. But she also has curved horns that kind of go parallel to the side of her head. Three pairs of them. One from the temple, one from the cheekbone, and one from the jaw, each slicking back. And she looks at you, Uthermeth, and seems to be somewhat curt and maybe impatient, and says, "Well, what do you want?"
We are here to get information. Are you a member of the Sign of One?
I am, as is everybody that's working here.
Excellent. So we were at a church in the lower ward where the members of the Athar would not let us through to investigate. And we had heard that the Sign of One also has an interest in this church. So we were hoping to gather more information on why this church might be so important to the Athar. It
And
got to the point where we engaged in an unfortunate altercation with them yesterday when they attacked us.
I'm sorry. And what does this have to do with the Hall of Speakers?
As I said, we were told that the Sign of One also has an interest in this church. We were hoping to find out what that interest might be.
What church?
So I will describe as best I can where it is.
Sorry, guys, I'm still here. I just have to let the dog out.
And it is, as far as I know, the only church that the Athar are lethally interested in, willing to attack people who otherwise show an interest in that church. We have also been told that you are planning a break-in of the church at some point in the future.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That I am planning a break-in?
No, the Sign of One, not you in particular.
What is it that you think we do here?
I don't know. I don't know what your interest in the church is. I am generally aware of the sign of one.
Okay. Um, and she grabs the bridge of her nose and she just seems just so exhausted. And she says, "Look, if if you have an issue that you wish to bring to the legislative body about some church that you are concerned about for whatever reason, you can go to the speaker's podium and you can state your concern. It will be recorded, and if enough votes are placed, it will be discussed among the legislative body."
That seems a very prudent system. Can you direct me to where we go to lodge this legislative action?
Just follow the signs. It says speaker's podium. You will eventually find yourself there, and then you'll meet a person that will walk you through what to do from there.
Thank you very much. You've been very helpful.
I'm sure I
I'm
have.
going to go find the speaker's podium so that we can ask the legislature to tell the Athar to give us access to the church. You're muted, Tony.
Hey, Uzi, this is not going to work out. Hey, lady, what's the turnaround time for something like that, huh? If anything ever happens, how fast does it happen?
Not very quickly.
That's not the time frame we're working in here.
I would just
Okay.
tell them we need them to take action alacritiously.
That, again, won't work.
Well, would you suggest that? It's the only course of action we have.
I mean, fair. You know what? Maybe somebody there is paying attention, and maybe doing this will stir enough feathers. Sure. Hey, thanks, lady.
She just goes, mm-hmm, and begins writing something, trying to seem busy.
But if you want to make it impactful, you gotta have Chaz right there with you. Hair in the breeze.
That is true. He is a better speaker than I am.
He might be.
But
Just might be.
if you lodge a complaint against the Athar and the church, or just against the Athar in general, that may pique some interest. Even if it doesn't receive the votes, there may be enough interest to at least call a special council. It doesn't hurt to try.
I hope the line isn't long. It'll be like a month. A month worth of people in front of us. But yeah, head off to find the speaker's chair.
So when you find the speaker's podium, it is a room and it is filled with cutters of all different stations. Some appear to be better dressed than the others, although none appear to be opulently dressed, which give you the sense that maybe there's a different way for those individuals to get their needs addressed. But there's certainly a number of people that are quite impoverished looking, destitute in terms of their appearance. And when you arrive, it seems like there may be 200 people packed into this room. Some of them are standing, and there is one person at the other end of the room who is speaking at a podium where another person seems to be taking notes on what they're saying. The when you enter the room, there's a person standing at a podium themselves, and they say, "State your business."
So yeah, I will explain to her that the Athar are guarding a temple in the lower ward.
Don't want to hear that. The business I was asking about is, are you here to speak or are you here to listen? If you're here to speak, I'll give you your ticket. You wait.
Oh, we are here to speak.
All right, here's your ticket.
What is the expected waiting time?
A long time. Do you see how many people are here? These are all the people looking to speak. The people over there that seem to be lining on the wall, those are the listeners. So that's what you're working with.
I think only one of us should speak and the rest should listen.
I don't care how you arrange it with your fellows. Just go and wait. And the number is on your ticket is 243. And it looks like
What's the current call? What's the call number?
So just beyond the person that's taking notes, there is like one of those flaps with the turning of the numbers. They're at 3.
At least that will give us time to prepare a statement. Which of us do you think should speak? I often annoy people when I talk.
Um, I I can speak if needed, but I'm better with a blade than I am with words.
I mean, who's better?
Dobrun has a charisma of 0.
I have a charisma of -2.
It's not about the charisma, it's about the persuasion.
Yes, that charisma check.
So I would
Um,
think Chaz is
yeah.
probably the most persuasive of all of us.
So what do you want me to say, bros?
Simply explained that we would like access to the church, and when we went there, the Athar were quite hostile, eventually attacking us for even asking about their guardianship of that church. And so therefore they are not fit guardians, and we should be allowed in.
Maybe you both could go up there.
That's right, bro.
Uzi, you present the facts, and as soon as Chaz starts talking, you stop
That seems
until
sensible.
he signals for you to go again. Starting to give those facts that are necessary, you know?
No, bro. Listen. No, no, Uthameth can speak. I'll just I can help him out.
Yeah, there you go. You both go up there. I think this is a great idea.
And the
I
good
will,
thing is they're only on number 3, and we got plenty of time to meet all our fellow bros in line and chat it up and just have a good discussion right here.
we
If
may
only if I brought flashcards, we could go over what we're going to say in great detail.
Oh, you might have plenty of time to make them, bro. You'll be fine. Just say what you just said to me, bro. I got you.
we may learn. We may learn. Oh, we may learn some interest. We may learn more about the church just from talking with our neighbors.
Right.
or even by listening.
Sure, we'll hear some interesting things. Hear a couple of pay attention to what these people are talking about. We have a lot to listen to. Maybe some of these people have the same concerns.
Those are my thoughts exactly.
And if nothing else, it would be a fascinating look into the political structures of the city. I envy you getting to listen to all the legislative business that will be coming.
And Dobrun's already spacing out. As soon as whenever he hears the word legislative, he's just like
I'm
he's able to
no,
concentrate on the word Fisk better than he is legislation. Legislative.
Listen, these are going to be a bunch of normal people. There's not going to be any proper talk about legislation with these people. They don't know how to make laws. Do you know how to make laws? I don't know how to make laws. These people definitely don't know how to make laws.
That's a good point.
This is going to be a bunch of people shouting at each other. Who's the council representatives that are going to be here? That's what I want to know. Those are the people we got to talk to.
Dobrun's looking around to see if there's a popcorn vendor. Because Cadeau is making the sound like this could be interesting.
There is no food vendor or anything of the nature.
No concession stand.
In fact, it seems pretty clear that the design of this place is meant to make you as uncomfortable as possible. The way that the chairs that are available, but none are available for you guys, but because it's standing room only by the point you get in. But those that are sitting in chairs are sitting so closely packed together, and the room is not ventilated. There's no windows. There is a single light in the room, which is shown upon the person that is taking record of what is being said, and it looks like the person who is currently talking is complaining about some issue with their chickens and needing a permit to fence them, and complaining about the permit process and the fact that they were denied their permit.
Preach, brother, preach.
and literally all the person that is under the light is doing is simply seems to be recording their words and then stating, all right, next. And it kind of goes like that.
Chaz will clap once that guy's done. Job, bro.
He looks a bit taken aback, like, okay. And other people are kind of looking back like, who's clapping at this guy?
That was good, bros. That was good.
I feel the passion.
I go to the person in front of me. So, bro, what are you here for?
I'm trying to see if we can change the laws around how the portals are managed in this city.
Okay, bros. Speak it. What do you want done?
Too expensive. How can you get to where you need to go when there's no great way to get around? This place is too big.
Right, my one bro, he's always trying to negotiate the price, bro. So are you saying like one jink or like, so what's your solution, bro?
I think they should be free.
Bro, I hear you.
This is the city of portals, after all.
It is, bro.
City of doors.
I like
I'd
it,
ask what
bro.
his name is, but I'm pretty sure he's Zovron Momdami.
Oh, I actually want to check how that election's going so far.
So do I. I mean, from what everything I've read, I expect him to win.
Do you really need to
Just,
check? I mean, is it
just
apparent? Isn't it obvious?
He won. Zoran Mondani won. And Prop 50 passed in California.
now I'll be interested to see if he can actually make the buses free.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Have you considered a compromise? Perhaps you could make the gargoyle sleds free by having the city pay for those and keep the portals
No, bro,
as a.
that's okay, bro. Just yeah, stick to your portal idea, bro. Don't worry, Samantha.
this is the city of doors, but it feels
You're
more
right,
like the
bro.
city of paywalls.
I hear you, bro. Keep good work, and Chaz will walk past him. What do you got, bro? What you here for?
They're listening. They're listening, and I want them to stop.
I hear you.
Do
It's tough out.
You're
Yeah.
part of the problem.
I
Oh
know
my
what
God,
you're
it's
saying.
you! You found me. He runs away. You just move on to the next guy.
It's some wild-eyed halfling. After you say that, just takes off.
A
Too
very
bad,
clever
bro.
way of whittling down the number of people ahead of us.
What do you mean, bro? I'm just getting insight. I'm trying to get an insight of what these people are talking about, trying to give support to the people.
I don't mean to interrupt your process.
And that's what Chad's going to do. He's going to go to like every person to find out what they're here for and encourage them.
I'm going to, I have like paper and ink and a quill. So I'm going to sit down, or at least if I have to stand, I'll stand. Now I wish I had that shield. I could have put my paper on the shield, but I'm going to meticulously plan out what I want to say.
I was thinking my ability allowed me to help you when you say your thing, but it really doesn't. So
I mean, you could still take the help action.
yeah, yeah.
So it is about 7 hours later
Nice.
that you finally get up in front of the podium. And having seen so many other people doing it so often, you know exactly the procedure. The person says, state your name.
My name is Uthermath.
And what is your home ward?
I mean, my office is in the Merchant District, but I don't remember if that's its formal name, but I would say it.
And what's your business?
We are here to try to get the Athar taken away from their current responsibility of guarding a church in the lower ward.
And what is the name of the church?
I don't know the name of the church. No one knows the deity that the church was dedicated to, though I can describe where it is precisely.
Then prescribe it.
So I will explain where the church is within the lower ward.
And What is your reasoning?
We went to figure out which deity the church was dedicated to and to find out other information about the history of the church. When we approached, the Athar challenged us and then immediately got aggressive and later attacked us for asking further questions about the church. They are clearly not fit guardians for the site.
Is there a clear public harm or nuisance presented by whatever this issue is that you're bringing before the council?
Yes, they are very aggressive to the point of attacking people who get too close to the church, which they have no reason to do. We believe it may come to blows between them and the Sign of One, which also have an interest, but the Sign of One would clearly be the better guardians for the church.
And what makes you think that the Sign of One have interest in this church?
We have been told by several people that they would also like to investigate the site.
Please provide the name and details of the individuals that you are using to corroborate these statements. Are they, and whether they're willing to speak on record?
I have not asked them if they are willing to speak on record, but one of them is named Hoolister, and I will describe Hoolister. And the other is named Fulniner, and I will describe him and his kind eyes and bushy black beard. Both of them are often found at, I forget what it was called. What was the name of the tavern?
The
Ubiquitous Wayfarer.
Yeah.
And is there any particular addendum or additional details that would be helpful for the council in considering whether this matter proceeds to the general legislative body?
Apparently, the church itself is somewhat dangerous, as people who went in and attempted to excavate there and touched a particular pillar are said to have vanished.
Is there anything further that we should be aware of in order to process this matter?
I will look at the notes that I made and proceed to like rattle off all the little points of the argument I constructed for this. For basically for as long as this guy will let me rattle them off, probably.
Chad's going to do the help action by standing back there with his hair and sunglasses, just nodding and looking everybody in line like, yep.
It's clear to a lot of the people who are still here that this is the most interesting thing that has happened so far. Not because of anything Uthermeth is actually saying, but because of just the straight magnificence of the main flowing that seems to flow despite the fact that there is no actual wind or presence in this in this chamber.
This is what it takes to get people interested in, in legislation.
Sex sells, man. Sex sells.
I imagine Chaz is like standing behind me, nodding and shaking his locks, but Uthermeth sees the interest around and thinks he is just killing it.
That's right.
And what is the area that we can contact in order to provide you information and updates regarding the matter that you are wishing to bring up with the council?
You could send them to the Blue and True Detective Investigative Agency.
And then for the first time, the person looks up from their notes and he just was like, oh my, as he looks at Chaz. And
I still assume he's looking at me. He's recognized the Blue and True. He's duly impressed.
His breath catches in his throat for a minute and he says, oh, here, take one of these cards. And he hands it to a method that just appears out of smoke, and then flies over to hand it to Chaz. And
I will
and
reach
he's
out to take it, assuming he's coming for me, but he flies by me, and I see him hand it to Chaz, and I'm like, oh, just as well, I guess.
if you have any further need to contact this chamber, you might contact that individual.
We greatly appreciate it.
Janice walks up to him. Don't forget those free portals, Brett. Need them.
Yeah, yeah.
In the newspapers the next day, man wins free portals, and it's like a picture of Chaz.
Um, so as you guys are about to walk out, uh, a a man stops you just outside of the room. He's a large man, although taller than he is bulky, wearing a pretty well-kept armor. It's polished. There are certainly marks of combat, although they have been largely buffed out or removed, with the sigil of the Fraternity of Order. He, like Chaz, has blonde locks, although his pale in comparison to those of Chaz.
Course.
And he has 3-day-old stubble forming on his face. And he says, I heard what you said in there. You're concerned about the church with the Athar?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I've been keeping tabs on that place myself. It's interesting what is happening there. It seems a strange situation.
Is there somewhere more discreet where we should move this conversation?
Discreet. Why would we need to be discreet? We are not talking about breaking any laws.
Very well. It is a strange situation.
Between the people vanishing when investigating the remains of that church and the possibility of just further violence, I do think something needs to be done about the site.
To me, it's just so strange that the Harmonium seem to have been so quick to allow the Athar control of the church, and that they have not stepped in to address the intensity with which the Athar are controlling the area.
Yes, that is unusual for them. They seem to generally like to have the monopoly on violence.
Yes, it is puzzling.
It sounds like that the Athar has some upper hand on the Harmonium, if that is the case.
That's one way of looking at it. It may also not necessarily be an upper hand, but just some sort of mutually beneficial position. It's unusual for the Athar and the Harmonium to work together since they don't seem to have very much in common, very little common ground to speak. By the way, forgive me, I've neglected to introduce myself. My name is Malweiss.
I am Dobrun.
What does Malweiss look like?
He's a tall human. And by tall, I mean really tall. He's 7.5 feet tall. So for a human, that's really big. I don't know how that stacks up to um Utermat or Dobrun.
I'm 6'5", so he's taller than me.
Dobrun's 8 feet.
Okay. So this is one of the few humans that can almost look eye to eye with you. Although he's built more like a basketball player than he is, a football player. Very long limbs, and a thick frame compared to the average person, but for his proportions, it seems to be gaunt and lanky. So, what is your interest in the church?
We were hired by a client who is afraid that the Athar will come to blows with other people, and we can attest to the fact personally that they are more than willing to engage in violence to defend their claim,
Hmm.
even
Dobrun,
against people who are merely asking questions.
Dobrun grunts.
And I
They will
heard you
join
up
us,
there.
or
Well, it sounds like you think that the sign of one is involved in some way.
We have been told that they also have an interest, and so therefore we would imagine they would be interested in also controlling the site, assuming someone must control the site, given the people vanishing when they touch the pillars. It is probably good to have people willing to keep looky-loos out.
Why do you believe that the sign of one is involved?
As I said, both our client and others have said that they have an interest in the site. Though I do not know exactly why any of them have a particular interest in this one site as opposed to any of the other temples. Obviously, the Athar do believe that the gods are imposters. I don't know why that would give them a particular interest in a particular temple. I could see them standing outside one and suggesting their god is false, but preventing people from going into a ruined temple to a god no one knows the identity of is strange for them. If anything, a fallen temple, I guess, might be evidence that they are correct, that the gods themselves have no particular power, as certainly this one hasn't been able to keep its temple in operation.
But what would drive the sign of one to have an interest in this place, assuming that you are correct and your sources are correct? I mean,
That I
they
that I do not know. Only that they are even considering attempting to sneak past the Athar to get access to the site, or at least so we are told.
We're we were hoping to speak with someone from the sign, speak with a signer and find out more by visiting the Hall of Speakers.
But then we learned that there is a whole legislative process, and we figured we should attempt the legislative process first.
It's very well may be that the signers have no interest. The signer one has no stake in this church, but we are simply working off of information that we've received and testing hypotheses and finding which ones are true or not.
Plus, one of the sources of our information used to be a member of the Athar, but he was disgraced and kicked out. And he agrees that the signers apparently have some interest in the building.
how familiar are the lot of you with the philosophy of the sign of one?
I am only familiar at the general level. I have never been a namer for the signers.
And what of the rest of you?
Do you have a pamphlet?
Well,
I know that the sign of one believes in believes in that we're all one creature, we're one mind, that everything is connected.
that's not quite correct.
That's why I need that brochure.
So, the sign of one is all about individuality. They believe that the entirety of reality is the result of a single consciousness that has brought it into existence. Each follower of the sign of one believe that it is their consciousness that is at the center of the universe, that is responsible for the creation of everything. They enjoy feeling important. This is why they are the legislators. Each of them wants their turn to speak, wants their turn to feel influence upon the world around them, to show their capacity to create the circumstances that they wish to bring about and prove that they are the singular consciousness. So, outside of legislation, they don't often work together towards any particular ends. I mean, there are exceptions, of course, there's always exceptions. But it seems strange that signers as a group would have any interest in the church. Unless there's something else I'm missing that maybe you have the ability to fill in the blank.
It very well may be that it is not the signers of as a group, but there are a small number of signers who have expressed interest in the church, but the information we are given has painted it as a larger collective.
And do
It's
you
their
have any ideas on why the harmonium would have yielded control over the site to the Athar?
See, that's what I've been trying to think to seek out myself. So far, I've not found reason for that, but it is strange. Not just that the harmonium would give authority over in the way that they did, but that they would also abandon their tendency to enforce the laws as they see upon others. That they would allow the harmonium or the Athar to jump in and do that for them seems strange.
Hmm.
And in your investigation, did you learn anything more about the fate of the people who disappeared?
No, that's the mystery. It seems that they just vanished. In fact, some of the eyewitness accounts state that they just disappeared, although the senses of those that said as much are worthy of questioning. They are not known to be less than addle-coved.
So how long will it be before the legislature passes on my petition?
Um, a long time.
We may have to do additional investigation in the meantime then.
Blood will soak the streets long before any decision is made.
One of my
I hope no.
responsibilities is for 2 days each month. It is my turn to sit watch at this post to make sure that order is maintained and that this process remains smooth. It's not uncommon that individuals decide to become too rambunctious, don't want to wait their turn, things like that. So I'm here to make sure things go smoothly, but in a way that would not be as drastic as the harmonium would enforce.
May I ask, what is
Honestly,
your interest in the church?
I live in the area and I don't like seeing people disappear. It's it's not okay. Those people need to be found and accounted for. And those that might have harmed them need to be brought to justice. That's my goal.
Are you aware of any violence that has been occurring between the signers and the Athar around the
No,
church?
no, I'm not aware of any such violence. Although I do know that the Athar have been violent towards those that take too great an interest in the church. Although I don't think any are affiliated particularly with the signers or acting on the directives of the factions that they might be part of.
If the Harmonium is unwilling to police and rein in the Athar, if our petition did get heard, what could the sign of one do realistically?
The sign of one. Do you mean the sign of one or the legislative body? They're not the same.
The legislative body.
The legislative body, the way that it functions, so much as I've come to understand in my role here, is they take the list of things that are said in this chamber and somebody looks over them and decides whether or not they are worth bringing to a larger vote. And they accept very few things. I don't know what the criteria is exactly, but very little actually gets to be voted on. And even that is not a vote by the General Assembly, but rather a vote of a board that is a changing body to determine whether the issue will be brought to a larger committee, which then decides the proper way to format the legislative questions that might arise from the topic. After that committee has time to edit and address that matter, a vote is made to determine if it is satisfactory and meets the requirements to move forward to the next committee, which decides the order in which topics are brought to the larger legislative body. Finally, the president
Okay.
of the legislative body, which changes
gotta-
on
I
a
would
monthly
turn to
basis.
Cadeau and I would
Uthermeth is
turn to
gonna
Cadeau and
orgasm
say,
here if you keep it up.
"Shh,
There's gonna be a
we are
mess
learning.
here.
We are learning so much."
I feel like Dobrun
Remi-
is like hears Uthermath's like heart beating faster from excitement.
It reminds me of, but all the decisions of that officer have to be ratified at a special bi-weekly meeting by a simple majority in the case of purely internal affairs.
Suffice to say that very few issues actually reach the larger legislative body for a vote.
Well, that is all very fascinating. Notwithstanding the rudeness of my friend.
Listen,
You know, the probability of
that takes time. We need people who will take action.
As I said, we may have to engage in other lines of inquiry in the meantime. But I don't doubt that eventually they will see the wisdom of my proposal that the Athar be removed from this position.
What if we do it first?
Though that would moot the question, I suppose. Though it may give them pause before they allow situations like this to arise again. So there would still be value. And I would turn back to him and say, the probability that you have pertinent information may be minimal, but I must ask nonetheless. Have you seen, and I begin to summon, you see swirls of various colors of mist begin in my hand, and I cast minor illusion, and I summon up an image of what looks almost like a crystal, but it appears to be made of a silvery, almost slightly coppery metal, very similar to the apparatus that I'm wearing. And I ask, have you seen an apparatus that looks like this? It would hum with a distinct subaural frequency that you could tell if you touched it.
No. Should I have?
Not necessarily. I have been looking for someone who absconded with this device.
Sounds like a mystery I would love to help you solve, but I have this other thing that needs my attention.
This requires my attention as well, but I have neglected attempting to ask people to solve this mystery, which in the long run I must do. I have no further questions at this time, but can you tell us how to get in touch with you again in case we learn more or have additional questions?
Here's my card. And it has instructions on how you would be able to reach him. And what of you? Where can I turn to seek you out if I have other things that I may need to address with you?
I am the sole proprietor of the Blue and True Detective Agency, so I may always be found there.
I think I've heard of your organization, actually.
Apparently, from the reaction of the legislature, I imagine it is more familiar to people than I realized it would be.
Well, I believe I have heard good things. So,
And you said he's from the Fraternity of Order?
yeah. Well, I must get back to it. The chamber requires further attention. It will still be open for the next 3 hours.
Very well. I hope we are in touch again.
Yes. Well, good travels.
You too. It was nice meeting you. Take our leave.
So where are we off to next?
Oh, wait, what? What, bro? Sorry, I was just staring at my reflection the whole time. What happened?
Oh, I will begin to describe in detail all that we learned about the operation of the legislature.
Dobrun starts looking away as soon as you say legislature.
I heard something about like I'm the most important person or something, bro. I heard about that. I caught that.
That is what the sign of one believes.
It's a good thing
Or
that
rather,
Chaz is wearing his sunglasses because you won't be able to see his eyes glaze over.
Hmm.
So we have heard from a second person that the that there has not been violence in the streets. I wonder if we met again with our client, if it would be worth asking her more questions.
Right,
See if we
right.
could drum up some other leads. We, of course, could go to the Hall of Records still.
I would think that would be a wise idea.
Down for some records, bros.
Dobrin is kind of confused, but accepts the fact that Chaz may be very into documentation, and he hadn't had the hadn't had the opportunity to learn that until now.
All records. Here we go. How fast do you want to get there?
How far away is it?
Good question.
Well, the portals are free, bro, right?
Not quite
Not
yet.
yet.
Not yet. Oh man.
Probably not ever.
Suddenly, having seen Chaz's hair, the legislature kicks into high gear, and by the end of the day, all portals are free.
Um, right.
I certainly hope that no one from the Athar hears that I want to kick them out of their position. Since I did give my address as well as my name and all of my identifying information.
Don't
So
worry about it, bro. Those bros are not cool, so
so the Hall of Records is the headquarters of the Fated, also known as the Takers, and they also are based in the Clerk's Ward. So they're not actually too far away. So as you approach the Hall of Records, it seems to dominate the block where it sits like a marble predator among pigeons. Its austere neoclassical lines, columns carved from red veined stone, doors of black iron engraved with the motto, claim and keep. Every place that can hold it bears the fated triangle within a circle sigil flanked by scales, with one tip slightly lower than the other, as if to hint that the scales of justice favor those that are clever enough to tilt them. But the streets outside of the Hall of Records are quiet, eerily so, lined with debt collectors, petitioners, and hawkers selling official copies of forms. Even the air feels heavier, as though thick with unfiled paperwork and regret.
That sounds like a candle scent.
Chaz would just go up to the very first person whoever is hawking something and just start talking to him. What's up, bro? What do you got?
Oh, I have exactly what you need. I got the forms you need to fill out claim and title ownership wherever you want. Just name it, and it can be yours.
What do you mean? Like you just fill it out and it's yours, so you can just take it, bro?
Well, there's some extra steps, but you'll have everything you need to get there.
He's way too eager.
Maybe you already have the paperwork and you just need a notary public. Yeah, I got my stamp. I'll stamp whatever you want.
He's jonesing here, man.
How much does the stamp cost, bro?
Oh, it depends what you want. It depends on what you need stamped.
What's
you
the
looking to
stamp
get
look like?
stamped?
What's the stamp look like, bro? Let me see your sign first. I gotta figure out if it's cool or not.
Man, you know I can't show you that. I can't have anybody trying to copy my sign, copy my stamp.
Bro, I can't. I'm not letting you stamp my black book if your stamp ain't cool, bro, because that ain't gonna work. I gotta see what your stamp looks like.
My stamp is cool. My stamp is cool.
I don't know, bro. You're not giving me them vibes. I'll
What
go
do
to
you mean
somebody
I'm not
else.
giving
Got a
you
cool.
them vibes. What you
I'll
need,
go
I'll
to
be what
somebody
you need.
else.
I'll be
I'll
what
go
you
to somebody
need.
else with a cool stamp, bro. Sorry.
Man, I got the coolest stamp around. You just ask. Let him know Vinny. Vinny got you.
Vinny ain't got us anything yet.
You ain't told Vinny what you want yet.
Vinny doesn't have anything, and it's obvious.
Vinny got what you need.
I don't know, Vinny. Let's see what your other bros say about you. And I go to the next person. Hey, what do you think, bros? What do you think about Vinny here? What's your stamp look like? I go start heading over there.
Vinny's stamp is busted.
Oh, okay.
Is that a good thing?
Dobrun's confused. His stamp is busted.
Your stamp doesn't even work, Vinny.
Dobrun's wondering if this is all just an elaborate euphemism. He doesn't understand.
Is this somebody else selling a bunch of forms?
Lots of people are selling forms. Also, lots of people are selling debt.
Their debt or somebody else's?
Somebody else's.
Oh, really? Like, what do you mean, bro? Like, what? Like, who's debt?
Are you talking to Vinny or are you finding somebody else?
Oh, I've left Vinny. Yeah, no. He's sketchy, man. He won't show me his stamp. I mean, come on. Come on, man.
Um, so you got a kind of a squiggly guy with with a monocle, and he's like, "You want some debt? I got some debt. You want to make bank? I'm selling this for pennies on the jink."
Like, what do you mean, bro? Like, is you collecting somebody's debt? Is it,
Oh, I already
what do you
got their
mean?
debt, but it could be yours. It's an
So it's then
investment.
it's
I transfer their debt to from me to you, and you start collecting, and you get that sweet steady line of jink coming in.
That sounds made up.
Now, how could you sell a nothing?
You're
What do you
muted,
mean
Kurt.
selling nothing?
It's a vacuum. It's emptiness. You can't sell that.
It's all student loan debt.
bunch of unpaid parking.
What are you going to do with it?
You do what you want. You
Can
You
I hit
take
somebody
up-
over the head with it?
you take up the debt of somebody that owns some property. Maybe you take their property.
Let's see the worst. Let's see the biggest debtor you got there, bro. Let's see it.
Oh, you want to see it? You want to see it?
The debtor, bro. Don't get. You don't. Are you? I don't need that kind of. You're making. You give me the. Them vibes. I don't like it, bro.
So
I'm
how
sorry.
does that
What kind of vibes do you want? I'll get you whatever vibes you need.
Just show me
It's
the.
just another
Just show
Vinny,
me.
man. Just another Vinny. What's your name, Vanny?
Bro, just show me what. Who's your worst offender on there, bro?
All right. Just because you got them eyes that I can't see that intrigue me, I'll let you in on it. I'll give you a glimpse of my book. He opens up the book, and the first name you see is Vinny.
Vinny.
Think we should buy Vinny's debt. Then Vinny will owe us.
He's got nothing to give us.
He can give us papers, apparently.
Maybe that's why Vinny is just that way, bro.
You can
Spent
foreclose
all-
on his. You can
spent all his
foreclose
money on the
his
papers.
So
foreclose on
what
his
is it?
stamp.
Yeah, so yeah. What's his
Can we just buy the stamp from him? Well, yeah. Just if you really want the stamp, you could just get it. But he won't show it to you, so who knows?
I flipped the I was like, show me the next one. Yeah, I'm not
Hey,
interested
hey,
in Vinny,
hey,
bro.
hey, the first one's free. That was some good debt right there. That was 5,000 jink.
Bro, you talking to Chaz Collinsworth. You're gonna flip the page, bro, and let me see the next one.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Oh, high or low?
Dun dun dun. All right. I'll do it on one condition. I'll let you see the next page. But you got to give me something. And
Like
you
what?
see him, he's got that yeah, give me that something.
I think he wants to make out with you.
Dobrun's on guard.
There's sex in the air.
So the question I have to ask is if I passed or failed, because that actually is relevant to my character.
Oh, okay. You had a critical success.
Okay. Let the sweet streak begin.
Yeah.
Hi, bros.
You know what? Actually, that makes a lot of sense. You are the one player that will be immune to the 50-50. Every roll will be a straight one. You'll know exactly whether or not it's high or low as a result of your oath of cool.
Hold on. I gotta take the dog out. Be right back.
All right. You know, why don't we take a break?
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So the
So how much for Vinny's debt?
How big does this book look?
uh the book that he has with all the debts,
Yeah.
uh it's like a manila envelope with a few pages in it.
Okay, so it's not like a huge ledger book.
Not specifically for Vinny, no.
No, not well. Yeah, I mean not for Vinny, but like I'm
So
picturing.
okay, so the thing that he's carrying with debt, it is like maybe an address book size.
Right. Okay. All right. I'll tell you what, bro. I'll give you 10 jink for the entire book.
The debt in here is worth at least 10,000 jink
Okay, bro.
if
No,
you
I
can
don't think
collect
so,
it all.
bro.
Like I said, it's an investment, but you wanted to see the next page,
Right, bro.
and I'm willing to do that if you just give me a little something.
What you're doing is really uncool, bro. So, um, how about I give you 10 jink and you give me these first two debts, bro?
I'll do it, but I need a little more.
Like 12 jink, bro?
I need I need I need to feel it. Just need to feel it.
Bro, that ain't cool.
Let
I mean,
let
we
me
don't know what he's
It-
asking
That
for.
ain't cool.
He wants to touch
Oh,
your
I
hair,
know.
man.
Absolutely. And that's a no-go at the station.
let me just run a few fingers through it. It's all I need. Maybe a little nibble on the ear.
I pull out the whole my holy symbol and I turn the uncool. Get the F out of my face. Charisma save, bitch.
Can you post that ability?
I haven't put it in the thing yet.
Oh, all right. Let me look it up real quick.
Shout harsh words, strike. Okay. Okay, so if his charisma score, okay, this channel divinity option affects creatures with a charisma score equal to or less than 10 plus your proficiency bonus. What? Okay. Make a charisma saving throw. If they fail, they are turned for 1 minute. A turned creature must run away.
All right. I don't think you even need he doesn't need to roll at all. He's just gonna run. He's gonna go just start running. In fact, you see like there's some smoke coming from his head as his hair seems to catch fire as he runs away.
I pick up his debt book and I pocket it.
Okay.
I guess we move on, bro. Hall of Records.
I suppose.
It looks like you have some records to add to the hall. But yes, let's get out of here.
Records of debt.
So as you enter, you're swallowed by an ocean of columns and clerks. The ceiling disappears into shadow, painted with constellations that shimmer faintly, each star representing a registered claim somewhere in sigil. The faint scratching of quills is constant, and a rhythm droning that feels almost devotional. Mage lamps shaped like hourglasses hang from chains, with their sands glowing from within. When an hourglass runs empty, a clerk appears instantly to flip it. And the hall is never silent. The shuffle of parchment, the murmuring of appeals, the distant slam of a judge's gavel echo through corridors like thunderclaps of ownership. And in the air, you can smell ink, sealing wax, sweat, and ambition.
Does that smell like musk? Like a musky smell?
Some might consider it to be a musky smell. Yeah. Maybe even a musky spell. But stepping into the Hall of Records is like entering a temple to acquisition. Everything gleams, marble floors, brass fixtures, polished egos. Yet beneath the surface of perfection, the place hums with a quiet predation. Every smile seems to conceal a calculation, and every gesture could become a binding contract. To outsiders, it's oppressive, but to the fated, it's paradise. And as with the Hall of Speakers, there is an informational desk.
Excellent. I will go to the information desk. We are looking for records related to a particular property, whether they be title records or records of its construction.
So the person behind the desk seemed to have been scratching upon a parchment with quill, and he looks up and he is dressed very much like a banker, but he moves like a serpent in his silk waistcoat. His clothing is immaculately tailored, deep burgundy coat with gold piping, triangular faction pin to his lapel, and gloves so white they seem to insult to anyone with calluses. His steel gray hair, his slicked back, never moves out of place, even with the unpredictable drafts that may occur in this large space. A single ring glints on his right hand, a silver band set with a chip of obsidian. And when he touches the parchment with that hand, ink straightens itself, a tiny enchantment to keep forms legible. His smile is polite, but it never really reaches his eyes. And those eyes are the colored of watered ink, calm and calculating. And he says, "Excuse me, what is it that you said?"
We need help finding the property records. So we need to look up
Ah,
a particular parcel in the lower ward.
property records. Yes, come with me. I will show you where you can find them. And he puts his ink pen down, and he takes a moment to straighten his waistcoat and try to press away any wrinkles, although you can't perceive any, but clearly he sees some. And he walks with a stiffness that is somewhat unsettling. Eventually, he takes you to a very large room that is just wall to wall, books and shelves and papers and folders. You smell the that musk of old parchment and the insects that tend to eat at the parchment. And he says, "Here's a hall of records.
How would we go about looking for a particular parcel?
There are two ways. The first is you're welcome to search physically. Otherwise, you can fill out these forms," and he produces them instantly, although you don't know where he grabbed them from. They seem to be in his hand. Fill out these forms and pay the appropriate fees, and a Modron will go and retrieve the records that you seek.
I see. And what is the time frame on the Modron providing the records?
Oh, the Modron should take no more than 10 minutes to find the records that you need.
Thank you very much for your help.
If there's nothing else,
Where do
and
we
then
turn the forms in? Do we
um
give them to you or someone else?
so he motions to a desk that you did not see because it's kind of around the corner and out of the way. And behind it, you see a frail old woman with hair in a beehive style, just several feet taller than she is, completely gray, full of curls, and impossibly firm. And she looks up, her face leathered and showing of years of just kind of sitting in the dark in this space. And she says, "I'll take that once you are finished."
Thank you very much.
Dobrun, while we were walking there, he activates his medallion of thoughts to take in, like, to detect thoughts, to basically cast detect thoughts and take in the surroundings, and particularly of the of this guy who's leading us. He's not going to press or try to probe, but he just wants to get surface level thoughts.
So when you activate your medallion. The thoughts that you register are so you notice that he looks up at one of the hourglasses described to be hanging from the chains and providing light. 2 minutes past the hour. Another patch of petitioners who didn't read the entry plaque, lightly adventurers. I'll enjoy correcting their assumptions should they give me the opportunity. Ooh, wait. And just realized my quill nib is dull. It's due for replacement. Also, the ink viscosity needs to be adjusted. I'll have to remember if they ask for a shortcut to provide them with a fee schedule and form C7. Yes, and remember to smile. Smiling disarms and profits. Let's see if they listen the first time or if I'll have to charge for repetition again.
Okay.
So I would hand the forms to Dobrun to fill out, and then I am going to just start studying the books to see if I can, using investigation, discern what the filing system is and maybe find this stuff ourselves.
I like how you handed the forms to the blind guy.
Listen, my choices were Chaz, Cadeau, or the blind guy.
He chose.
It's
It's not like he can help for looking for the stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll investigation.
Don't know if it's high or low. Just
Did
I
that
didn't
roll
see a
over
roll.
oh, damn it.
you?
Too bad because I was talking to myself because I was trying to fix something. But do it again. That is not nearly as good as my first roll. Not nearly as high. Maybe better.
So you're looking through all of the files, you're looking through the books, you're looking through the shelves. And even for your keen analytical mind, it's really difficult for you to understand the rationale behind how they are organizing things. They seem to just in one spot, there are deeds to past homes, but right next to them seem to be tax filings from citizens from hundreds of years ago. And next to those seem to be permit filings for construction. It really is almost insanity in terms of the lack of any kind of organized structure. It's not even one that has a repeating pattern as you scroll down the files and you see that yes, there are different ones that are positioned, but even relative to their positioning, there's no real repetition or any kind of system that you can see, even when you start pulling out the files and you realize that the forms have numerical and alphabetical assignings in terms of the naming of the files, as well as the names upon the files and who they're supposed to be impacting, such as the owners of the deeds or the individuals filing the permits. And even within that, there's no clear way of understanding what it is that provides the ability to determine where to find anything. It, as far as you can tell, somebody may have just haphazardly put everything just where they happen to be. And it's not even chronological because the dates might vary as much as 1,000 years for documents right next to each other.
So I would turn to Dobrun and say, I think we need to use the forms. As I am not making any sense of this filing system, if there is any sense to it.
I suspect that's by design. But I will start filling these out as he tries to find a quill. He actually can see with blind sight. So, but
I mean, I would produce a quill and ink.
he starts penning out, filling it out.
So the information contained on the form includes the name of the petitioner, the type of form that is being sought, and there is an appendix with several pages to go through of lists of forms that are a combination of letters and numbers, such as C7, form CFS 1250, B9, Q, or form 310 Delta 6. There's pages of the specific kinds of forms that are possible to be sought out. And so even trying to find among that what is the proper form is difficult, but you do see on the form there is a fee to allow the attendant to assist you with identifying what is the form that you're looking for. And that fee is 10 jink. 10 jink just to be able to help narrow down what is the specific form that you're seeking.
Simple, man. That's how they get you to pay your taxes.
Dobrun mutters to himself, the steel's getting worse all the time. The information here better be good.
Or what?
I'm sorry, dearie. Were you looking to have my support in determining what specific form you're seeking?
Do we really need a specifics? Like, there are all these forms, but is there like a different form for depending on the type of content we're searching? Is it like that level of complexity?
Yeah, I mean, when you and you could certainly try to, I mean, somebody could try to identify, okay, what is the form that they're looking for in the midst of all of this. But the way that the appendix is written, each form is described in such vague legalese that it's really hard to understand what any of the forms really are. because they all seem like they could be what you're looking for. And also, what is it that you're looking for specifically?
I would think we're looking for, so I mean, one might be title records to see who actually owned the property in the past. And then if we can find that, hopefully it'll say something about the identity of the property. But two would be construction records. Like you mentioned, there were permits for things. So there
Mhm.
must have been a permit when they originally built this temple. And that probably would mention something about what it was intended to be, its intended use. There might even be like zoning records and that sort of thing. Um, Other than that, like title and building records, I don't know what we're looking for. I mean, I'm sure there must be tax records, assuming churches aren't tax exempt.
So as you look through the appendix, there's multiple forms that cover churches. Like there's churches that were built as churches, but then retrofitted for other uses, buildings that were originally built for a certain purpose, but then retrofitted into churches. You have into like the types of building permits as well as the zoning laws and like yeah, there's many different things that you could be looking for, and
Right.
it's
So I
not
mean,
it's
I would
difficult
think
to.
the first thing we would look for, sorting among the information is like architectural records.
Mhm.
Then assuming, whatever we find there, we would probably look for building permits. And then we'd probably look for title records. Tax records would be very, very much distant, and I imagine we've got to pay for every category we're trying to search.
Yeah. Dobrun would just get frustrated and with this, and then just like plunking down the jink and saying, "Man, we could use some help."
Ah, well, fill out this form and I'll be happy to take your money and help you.
I'm sure you would.
And so the
He takes
form
that form with like a brisk, like an abrupt pull, and fills it out
yeah, that
hastily.
form is all about the detailed information that you're trying to find and signing an agreement that you will pay 10 G per category of form.
He's grumbling under his breath.
You better get that right. Because these are the same motherfuckers who would love to turn you down because you didn't fill it out right.
We can double check his work.
He's right. Is he writing in Braille?
That's okay. If you just turn it in Braille, and if she needs help reading it, we could charge her a small fee to translate the Braille.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. She just can't comprehend language.
Yeah.
Um, so she takes the form, and then she says, "Ah, it seems like there are 4 different forms that you are seeking. Would you like me to help you retrieve these 4 forms?"
How much does it cost to get a Modron to help us collect this information?
Well, before we even get there, this is This is the cost for just determining what are the specific forms for you to be able to fill out correctly upon the requisition form.
And what is the cost of filing this form?
10 jink per form.
Kiddo walks away from this and just starts looking.
And once we get the appropriate forms, how much will it cost to file those forms?
Well, to have the Modron find those forms, assuming that all of the requisition forms are filled out correctly, would be another 50 jink plus 10 jink per form.
So that would be another 90 on top of the 40 we would have to pay for this.
Assuming that you fill it out correctly. There may be additional fees if there needs to be corrections.
Dobrun is very close to pulling out his glaive on his old lady.
How long you been at this, old lady?
My whole life.
Yeah.
It shows.
Thank you.
It's not a compliment.
I don't care. I've made plenty of money.
What have you done with it?
Everything I've wanted. I've purchased so much debt.
I ask again. And done what with it?
So it does not sound like it would actually be worth the money to submit these forms. Well, to submit this form and then to submit 4 other forms afterwards. Running the risk the whole time that we submit them incorrectly, and therefore must pay even more money to correct the forms.
I don't
Yep.
know. The information contained in these stacks is quite extravagant. There's always gems to be found. Supposing you know what you're looking for.
I'm looking.
Very well. We will just go one by one and pull everything out of the stack and lay it out on the table until we find the thing we're looking for.
Sure. But before you do that, you must complete this form stating that there is a acknowledgement of a pool fee.
Not happening, lady.
I'm not acknowledging any pull fee because I'm not signing the form.
And
And
you
he just
won't
starts
be
pulling stuff out of it. He just starts pulling information out and like looking for it.
She's just smiling.
I was thinking maybe this is away from her earshot. I would say to whoever wanders over with me, perhaps we should just find the Mudrun and see if we can convince it to pull things for us.
I think
Do
I've
we
seen
see
one of
it?
those guys once.
Did we see any Mudruns? Yes, you saw one in the last session. It was fighting some methods.
So Dobrin, how many things do you pull from the shelves?
Oh, he's not. What he's gonna do? He's not gonna pull them out, but he's gonna like pull, like pull them up, like look through them to see if they're the thing we want, then put them back in.
Right, but how many times are you doing that?
Oh, it's a good question. Let's do
Yeah, how many papers are in a stack? He's leafing through.
3 times.
Okay. I mean, you particularly with your vision because it's not limited to direct line of sight, but also anybody else that's paying attention to the old woman. Her grin gets bigger and bigger with each time Dobrun pulls something out of the stacks.
There's got to be a limit.
Everybody give me a perception check.
I don't know if it's high or low. 6 could be better than I think.
All right. So, Kurt, I'm going to send you a message.
Dobrin also has an intelligence of -2 modifier, so his patience would be pretty small for these sorts of things.
Okay.
Where did you send it?
In Zoom. I honestly did not see the session going in this direction either.
So the last thing I see in Zoom is, oh, I see. It's in a different tab. Okay, listen, guys. Once we're done, just run out of here past the front desk as fast as you can. Because we've already spent a considerable sum of money. And I don't think they will just let us leave without paying. Every book Dobrun touched, he's like 15 gold. And the fees only go up from there.
If you want, you can point them to the sign that you saw.
Yeah, I'll point at the sign.
How far away is the sign?
It's right at the entrance, but it's very intentionally not noticeable. And I'll
Yeah, it's literal small print legalese that says, like, merely by walking in here, we've agreed to pay all their fees and that they're enforced at the front desk. So pulling a book is 15 gold, and it's another 10 gold pieces to rest the documents in any way on a table. And then it's 50 gold if you take notes from any source that you're looking at, and 100 gold for each copy you make without proper form retrieval by the Modron.
I'm trying to copy and paste it. Won't let me do it though.
So, like, you've already spent 45 gold by touching 3 books. But you did say you weren't resting them on a table, thank God.
Also, based on her reaction, it's clear that she gets a commission.
But I figure if we just do a library version of a dine and dash, we'll be okay.
Done plenty of those. Don't you worry, I get us out of here. I'm already eyeballing exits.
So
Although I definitely wouldn't fill out the forms and tell them who you are, so they can hunt us down.
I told you don't do that.
yeah, I mean, he
Never
was
fi-
like,
Never sign anything without a lawyer here in Sigil, right?
yeah, I mean, he never returned them in because then she was asking about what forms we needed to get.
Right, we didn't even fill them out yet because we got stymied by the first form.
They got to make the first one real easy. Their business plan doesn't work out unless they think they can enforce this somehow.
So the question is, how long would how long would Uthermath let this go on before he says we need to run?
Well, I mean, I would have. So apparently you pulled 3, and that's when Uthermath would have said that you've just spent 45 gold.
You you see like you see him like you see Dobrun just like he like looks up and like doesn't look in your direction, but you can tell he's fuming.
It's okay. We're just gonna run. We don't need to pay them nothing. We just get out of here.
As I said, if we can find the Modron,
Uthermath.
it can pull the books.
Have a look around.
Let's do that.
Don't touch anything.
So after those 3 books, he like drops them, puts them back, and says, "All right, let's see if we can find that Modron."
So we're going in search of a Modron.
All right. All right. So as you wander through the stacks, eventually you do come upon a spherical modron, a monodron, that seems to be flying through the air, putting various papers and files and books in various places into the stacks.
So ideally, I want to wait until it goes somewhere in the stacks where there's like there are people aren't watching.
As far as you can tell, aside from the lady at the desk, there's nobody else in the stacks aside from the
Uh,
Lodron.
right, especially her, because for all I know, there's a talking to the Modron's fee.
That's not even listed anywhere.
It's not in the small sign, but there could be other signs. I
Yeah.
saw one sign. But once I can essentially find a Modron alone, I am going to cast suggestion and get the Modron to pull for me and bring to me a copy of all of the building records related to that church, describing it as precisely as I can. It's a DC 14.
Uh, so what does it look like when you cast the spell?
Um, so as I phrase the request to the Modron, you would see there'd be little sparkles of almost like electricity, but like blue motes of magic begin to appear on the Mizium apparatus I wear around my shoulders. And suddenly you hear there's a bit of an extra timbre and gravitas to my voice as I make the request.
And what specifically do you say?
I say, find and bring to me copies of all of the building records related to and whatever the description of the church I've been using is.
Give me an Arcana check.
Plus 1d4.
Okay.
17.
So, as the magic interacts with the Modron, you begin to understand something about the way the Modron works in the resonance that you get with the magic. The Modron, because of its nature, it can't be compelled to act in a manner contrary to its nature and instructions. And you understand that. You also understand that your suggestion will cause it to comply, but it would also comply in a way that maintains its nature and instructions, which would be to also communicate the charges that will be compiled by the request.
Okay, then I would just end the spell at that point.
But if you want to use an action point, I would give you a chance to try and override it.
Okay, I'll use an action point for that.
Okay. So what we will do is we'll do an opposed intelligence check
Okay.
and see if you can overcome the Modron. So the Modron doesn't critically succeed, but it does succeed. And I was not expecting that because it has a very low intelligence.
Okay. Then I would end the spell.
So it begins to flit over in a direction, and then as you end the spell, and what does it look like when you end the spell?
So when I end the spell, you see the little motes of magic that formed immediately begin to sort of pop and disappear into the air.
And the Modron kind of does a stutter, like, and then it goes back to whatever it was doing.
It seems as though we cannot actually command the Modron without it telling on us and reporting how much money we owe. And not knowing what we're going to pull, I cannot possibly predict how much money that would cost us. So, dash past the front desk. Dash past the front desk.
We are done here.
Right now? You want to keep looking?
No, every time we touch a book, it's 15 gold we might have to account for if they catch us.
I mean, I could pay what the charges that we've racked up so far. And not be chased out of the building. Though
That might be good in that it would allow us the opportunity to come back, but I can't imagine ever having enough cash to pay to use this hall.
if we found a benefactor, like our previous client, who had some sway with the fated, perhaps there's a friends and families discount. And he's not with the fated, but if we met someone who was, there may be an opportunity to have some fees waived.
Possibly, but that seems speculative.
It's a door to leave open, even if we don't have a way to make use of it right now.
Kiddo, you're not going to understand this right away, but give me an animal handling check.
My cranium rat gonna help?
Forgot about your
Maybe.
cranium rat.
Emailing it.
So your cranium rat pops out of wherever it is that he's popping from. He goes on your shoulder and he taps you on the neck to get your attention.
Come on, little buddy.
And he does a little squeak. He looks back at the woman at the desk
Mhm.
and then jumps from your shoulder, runs up Chaz's leg, and then starts like rubbing his face on the book of debt that Chaz picked up. And then starts looking at the lady and starts rubbing on the book of debt.
Well, I mean, maybe if you're persuasive enough, you can use that as payment.
How much debt is in your book, Chaz?
I don't know, bro. I'll take a look. I don't know. Is it easy to figure out?
It is a little difficult, but you can manage it. Uh,
You mean he doesn't keep a running total?
well, the problem is that he didn't drop his whole thing. He just dropped the two top files from his thing when he got turned. Because he said that his whole book was worth 10,000 gold in terms of debt. But those two files, it's still about 1,000 gold worth of debt between Vinny and whoever that second person is.
Yeah. If you can convince some other poor chump to buy nothing. Or to accept it as payment. Otherwise, I'm also fine with just leaving.
And
Seems
when
like it
when
might
the,
be worth it to try to offer that as payment for whatever our costs are here.
the lady did say that she spent a lot of her gold buying up debt.
Plus, I get the sense that nobody likes Vinny. She may be thrilled to have a debt of Vinny's. But it is Chaz's debt, not mine.
Of course.
Yeah, but we need this information. Well, I'm going to go over to the lady then. Hopefully the rat runs back to Cadeau.
Yeah.
Creepy little fucker.
Yes, can I help you?
It seems like there's a lot of fees and all kinds of shenanigans going on here with trying to get just books like words. We're paying a lot for these words.
Oh, yes. Well,
However,
words are very expensive. The right words can change the multiverse.
oh, they can't. Oh, yes, they can, my sweet lady.
Oh,
Telling
you're
you.
too kind. And she kind of does a shudder as you give her that compliment.
Well, I've got a little bit of debt here. I mean, I don't know if that's worth something to you in lieu of payment.
Oh, say more.
I mean, so I'm going to take the second one, show her the second debt, whoever it is, and say, uh, "What's this worth to you?"
Ooh, that's a good $200 worth of debt. That uh, I would I would exchange 50 jink for that debt.
50 jink for this debt?
Well, I have to make a profit, and there's always the risk that I won't actually be able to collect on it. Some deadbeats just won't pay.
Yeah, but you really don't want to collect on it. You just like holding on to it, don't you? You like looking at it, keeping it by the nightstand,
It
checking
does
it
make
every
me feel
night,
it does make me feel big to know
doesn't
that
it?
I can make others feel so small.
Oh, yeah.
Dobrun's white knuckling hearing this.
It looks like you have maybe a little more you can offer.
I could, but I think if we could just get a little bit of information about what we're looking for, and then I could let you see this other debt, because, I think you really like this one. I think you really kind of scratch your fancy now.
Ah, I'll tell you what. I'll raise it to 75 chink for this. You also let me see the other one that you have there.
Okay. All right. 75. That sounds cool. So I'll show her the next step, but if cover it up with my hand or whatever and just show Vinny's name, just so she sees the name. What do you think about that?
Who's Vinny?
Oh,
He's right outside.
Give me an
one of the
insight
bro.
check.
Okay.
Now, let's see if you want to get high or low.
I thought Chaz didn't have to.
Oh, that's right. You don't. True.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's a success. You can tell that she understands that you're trying to get some kind of response from her by
Mhm.
revealing the name and nothing else.
Okay. 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 Well, I thought you would know who it was, but yeah, it's you know, then it probably don't mean. I'll just put it away. It really don't mean much. I'll take the
Wait,
75.
wait, 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 wait. Surely you can respect that an old woman has some curiosity. And the greatest curiosity for me is the numbers.
Hmm.
Let me see them numbers.
Let's see
Write
a
him
little bit
out.
of Let's see a little bit of info first. I mean, it's not every day that Chaz Collinsworth comes in the Hall of Records now, dear.
Oh, just hearing that name gets me all. Ooh.
Dobrun throws up in his mouth.
Chaz, we cannot be friends anymore.
There's been a lot of bodily functions in this episode.
Hashtag Pornhub. Yeah, and then she goes and she says your name just to see how it feels in her mouth. Chaz Collinsworth. Ooh. I tell you what, Chaz, your friend over there spent a good amount of gold with what he's done, taking those files from the shelves. Let's say we waive those. Just start off on the right foot. Will that help to let me see them numbers?
Well, the 75 Jink will cover that, right? Because it's 45 that he's messed with 3 books, right? So according to my math, we're ahead of the game now. We got 35.
Oh, I will pay you the difference.
Oh, okay.
I am I love buying debt. Few things make a woman feel like a woman than buying debt.
So I've heard.
You hear that, Dobrun?
He looks around to see if Trinfeld is like
Looking over
X. Yeah, so
the
like
window.
a book space between the books that she's looking through.
So, Dobrun, if you had to, between the librarian and Trinfeld,
A matter of life and death.
Chaz throws up in his mouth.
Well, at least the librarian has a very strange kink, but one that doesn't involve me. So the librarian.
Also, you could crush the librarian. You can't crush Tronfeld.
yeah, the opposite, perhaps.
But of course, depending on how old she is, she might have fewer teeth. Except Trumfeld like had all her teeth, so.
I will sell her that debt for 75 Jink.
And aren't you forgetting something?
I at least send one of your Modrons to go find some information while they're looking. Maybe old Chaz here let you peruse this other debt.
You know, give me a persuasion check. And you can have advantage.
Because she's already wet.
Benny! And the Modron flies over. help these individuals find what they're looking for. And then Benny comes down before Uthermeth, and looks up with its singular eye, and it says in a very monotone and hollow voice, "What records do you request?" And
And
then
I'll explain. We want the records related to that property, the church.
she looks at Chaz and says, "Summoning the Modron is free, but it's an investment. I'm investing in the possibility that this other debt is worth it."
So Chaz will slide over the piece of paper to her so she can get a good look at it.
I was expecting like showmanship, like you cover up the numbers with your hand and slowly slide it down, revealing the numbers.
Well, I figure she can't see too well, so you know.
And she goes, "Ooh, you have been hiding out on me. $800 or 800 gold of debt. I think that's worth whatever you're looking for in here. Maybe you have a little more."
We'll see.
And she takes the paper of debt that you put on the desk, and she also holds her hand for the first debt that you had.
Okay.
And then with that, the Modron procures all the documents that you're looking for, and the lady says, "Go ahead and make them copies. They've earned it." And so you managed to leave the Hall of Records with copies of the specific files that you were looking for. And with that, I think that's a good place to wrap up for the night.
Okay.
I also did not intend to have that lady run like that, but it's just how things happened.
When you see the locks, you just can't help it, you know.
Yeah.
They just get a lady going.
Or a vendor of debts. Maybe that's what it is. People who just love debts can't resist jazz.
Yeah. They love the investments, right? They love investments. Well, he's invested in his hair
Mm-hmm.
and it's paid off. And they see it, they recognize it.
What do you guys think?
It was good.
Mm-hmm.
I did not imagine the Hall of Records would be as complicated to navigate as it turned out to be.
Yeah, it
I
was
was ready,
definitely
man.
it was
I was ready.
definitely running into these two institutions. We see the
Yeah.
bureaucracy of Sigil.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's kind of opposite ends, right? They're in the Hall of Speakers, it's just the pure bureaucracy of getting things done. But with the Hall of Records, it's the pure aggression of bureaucracy in order to turn profit. Like one is used for the betterment of Sigil, whereas the other is used for the benefit of the individuals working there.
Yeah.
Right underneath that sign that had all the prices listed was the art of the deal.
Art of the deal, bro. Art of the deal.
All right.
I was-
Thanks for running.
Yep.
To go.
All right,
Have a
take
good
care,
night.
everyone.
Talk to
All
you
right,
later.
take care.